So yesterday, a bombshell dropped about a certain nameless person that tied their name to, get this, Harvey Weinstein, Jussie Smollett, Andrew Cuomo, and so many others. This hole, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. You and I, we're going to dig that out today. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. So like I was saying at the beginning, things just keep getting worse and worse for that certain nameless person as her name ends up tied to Andrew Cuomo, the disgraced New York governor that ends up having to step down. Oh yeah, that's something. See, if you missed out on the bombshell that dropped yesterday, Roberta Kaplan was caught in the crossfire of Andrew Cuomo. She was forced to step down as the Time's Up leader. Now, as far as Roberta Kaplan is concerned, she represented a certain nameless person. She decided, in fact, to utilize Time's Up to go after him again and again. Now, her name should have been a problem for a certain nameless person to begin with. The only thing was that the media, they normally didn't report on who these folks were. If they did, well, you would have already known that Roberta Kaplan, while going out utilizing hashtag Time's Up to try to take people down, was representing the likes of Harvey Weinstein, representing the likes of Jussie Smollett, and of course, representing that certain nameless person. Interesting connections, no. Now, just to make sure everyone understands this, Roberta Kaplan is a co-founder of Time's Up. She was also one of the leading members of it. She was weaponizing this thing on behalf of that nameless person. You can see her mention it here. You know, we at Kaplan Hecker are proud to defend that certain nameless person in this case and are gratified by the court's decision. Hashtag Time's Up. Time and again, Roberta Kaplan played the defender of a certain nameless person. Even when they stopped defending them in the courtroom, they were still weaponizing hashtag Time's Up, weaponizing their platform across different mediums, including Twitter, to say things like, well, a UK judge, after 3 weeks, they got it all right. Here were the accusations. This is how it's laid out. By the way, even going as far as to say things like this, and the hypocrisy that sees through statements like it, just wait for a minute. So the quote, if JD could do this to a certain nameless person, imagine what happens every single day to the millions of other women out there who have been, we're just going to say, accosted and are not famous actresses and don't have the resources to hire lawyers to defend them. They also like to talk about things like sunlight being the best disinfectant. And you know what? For once, Robbie Kaplan is 100% correct. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. It's great to see what's going on. And setting aside the Harvey Weinstein connections for a moment, the Jussie Smollett connections, all of that stuff going on with Andrew Cuomo, which we'll talk about in just a second, this stuff right here, it should have done in Time's Up. Why? Because the defending the defenseless byline, the thing that they were presenting themselves as, that was marketing we were just looking at, by the way. This is where the money was going. That statement that we saw before, by the way, that was made in 2020. This is where 2018's inaugural money went to. Quote, so it looks like time might be up for Time's Up. As the Post reported in a devastating exclusive last weekend, the glittery Hollywood organization meant to help underprivileged women fight workplace harassment and accosting spent just $312,000 of more than $3 million raised in 2018, its inaugural year, on the legal bills for victims. The rest, it went for salaries. This should make people mad, by the way, because $312,000 was spent for the purpose that they raised money on, but 4 times that went into the pockets of those representing. Advertising and PR, it actually got more money than the people that were being represented, plus nearly $1 million was spent on a multinational law firm with lobbyists in D.C. The reality is, though, that none of that did a thing. Not at all. You see Robbie Kaplan here utilizing Time's Up still. This is in 2020. You can see June 11th is when this posted, saying, I believe in a certain nameless person. I redacted that there. And I believe in that certain nameless person. They tagged them into this, by the way, and then they put in Time's Up now. Now, what it took was a national scandal to get anything done at all. You can see this headline right here. This comes up 5 hours ago. Notice, by the way, Cuomo, he's smiling the biggest smile while he's telling you about this stuff, telling you that he is going to step down. Why? Because there is controversy. Controversy tied to hashtag Time's Up. Controversy tied to 11 accusations so far. See, the scandal behind that announcement there, that's ultimately what causes Robbie Kaplan to have to step down. You can see article after article about this. When they mismanage funds, that doesn't matter. When they're representing a certain nameless person, and names like Harvey Weinstein, Jesse Smollett, and on, they come up in association with that. Those don't matter. But when you have a high-profile public figure that's been accused, yeah, that stuff matters, and that's not good for Robbie Kaplan, not good for a certain nameless person, not good for their organization, Listen and Believe, and on. So how did we get to the point where one of the most powerful politicians in the U.S. is forced to step down, one of the most powerful attorneys in the United States is forced out of hashtag Time's Up, that certain nameless person gets exposed, that hashtag gets wrecked and then some, and you see a lot of vindication? Well, you have news coming out last week. There was a report from a New York attorney detailing allegations by 11 women saying that they were harassed at the hands of Cuomo. Now, in this report, apparently Cuomo and a group of advisors, they sat down and they wanted to detail something that discredited one of those folks. Now, at Cuomo's direction, his top aide sent that letter to Robbie Kaplan saying, hey, what do you think about this? Robbie Kaplan says, you know what? That's actually pretty good. Gives pointers on the way to make it better, though. Essentially, what they said was hashtag Listen and Believe. Unless money, it lines my pocket, then, well, I'll represent anyone. I'll represent Harvey Weinstein. I'll represent Jesse Smollett. Maybe I'll represent a certain nameless person. Now, the media, they stood silent on some of these issues for years, too. But you know who wasn't silent about it? Adam Waldman. Of course, he couldn't know about the bombshell that came today or the bombshell that dropped yesterday, but he did know that Roberta Kaplan was standing with hoaxers, was standing with accusers that, well, they were less than credible, and also was not standing with people that were saying they were victims. He was calling this stuff out. People, they were ignoring him. They were trying to denigrate and undo him. Yeah, man, how the mighty they have fallen. Every day something drops interesting. Oh, man, I wonder what's going to come tomorrow. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. As always, too, appreciate the heck out of you. You folks make this stuff happen, so thank you. Want to help the channel out in different ways? There are links in the description. Check those out. We could always use your help. Also, share this stuff everywhere. Feed the algorithm. You know exactly how that stuff goes. But you being here, that matters. Thank you. I cannot say that enough. I appreciate you. And yeah, until next time, we will see you soon.